Coming up, sick and tired? The best way to help fight off those viruses and make you feel better this winter. Then, let it snow. We're hitting the ski slopes with a look at the science behind snowmaking. Also, around the globe, we'll take you to a country rich in kings, history, and one of the longest rivers on Earth. Plus, meet Boone, the hero dog who is capturing America's hearts, bow tie and all. Then our pal Jackson Daly takes us behind the scenes of Sing 2 and tells us how an animated movie comes to life.
Yeah, big time, baby!
And Inspiring Kids will introduce you to this teenager who is counting his blessings and giving a few back to his community. We've got his remarkable story just ahead.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. It is always great to be with you, especially here on a Saturday morning. We've got a super lineup ahead, including this adorable dog who is making lots of people smile these days in Pittsburgh. Plus, did you ever wonder why zebras have stripes? I know I have. Well, we'll get the answer and more when we take you to the Houston Zoo. But let's begin with the news. We have spent a lot of time in this program talking about the coronavirus and how you can best protect yourself. But it is also cold and flu season. So we asked our pal Dr. John Torres to explain how you can get better if you do get sick this winter.
Sometimes, even when we do everything right, viruses sneak into our body and they can make us sick, regardless of what type of illness. COVID, the common cold, the flu, a sore throat, or even a stomach bug, we do have a few tools to fight them off. The first, sleep. When you're sick, your immune system is working really hard to fight off the virus. This will make you more tired than usual. You want to get as much rest and sleep as possible because sleep slows down other functions your body does while awake, like thinking, talking, and even blinking. This saves energy so your immune system can keep fighting. To help you feel better, your parents may give you some medications that they got at the store or from your doctor. These can relieve symptoms like coughing, fever, or a sore throat. The most important thing when you're sick, stay hydrated. It's very important that you drink a lot of fluids. That can include water, fruit juices, or sports drinks. Why? Well, all the cells in your body need water in order to work properly. And when you're sick, it's especially important because water helps the immune system create more antibodies. And remember, antibodies, those soldiers, are what fight off viruses. Now, what about food? Well, you may have heard the phrase, feed a cold, starve a fever. But kids, this is a myth. Yes, a myth. Regardless of whether you have a cold, the flu, or something else, you want to try to eat because food gives your body energy to fight the virus. Fruits, vegetables, and peanut butter are some good options. But sometimes getting sick causes you to lose your appetite. And if that happens, try eating plain foods like crackers or toast. And there's nothing better than a comforting bowl of chicken noodle soup when you're sick. And it really does help you get better. It thins the mucus in your nose and throat to make you less congested, and it helps hydrate you. And when you combine all these tools together, sleep, fluids, food, and medication, it can help you get better faster.
Dr. John Torres, I feel better already. Thank you. Let's turn to the winter weather. We know some parts of the country are getting a good dose of snow these days, but there are some other areas of the United States that haven't seen much of the white stuff. But for snowmakers, there's a recipe to solve that. Our pal Dave Price hit the slopes to take a look at the science behind snowmaking.
Hi, Lester, and greetings from Camp Gaw in Mahwah, New Jersey. It is a great day to ski. We've got 14 feet of snow as a base. But you know what? This isn't from Mother Nature. This snow is from this machine.
Some areas out west have already gotten upwards of 22 feet of snow this season. But in many parts of the country, we haven't had a whole lot. So what do you do if you've got a ski mountain and no snow? You turn to science. Believe it or not, you can follow a recipe, and if conditions are right, you can make snow. Snow is made naturally with water vapor, while manufactured snow is made by freezing liquid water. but the process is similar.
Is it fair to say your real title here is Father Nature because you're making the snow, which is on the ground now?
Yes, we create what Mother Nature doesn't give us.
People have been skiing on snow as far back as 8,000 years ago. And even when it became popular in Europe in the late 1800s, if it didn't snow, you didn't ski. But in the early 1900s, inventors tried to solve that problem with crude contraptions. By the 1950s, the devices were better, paving the way for machines that now truly mimic how snow is made naturally.
We've upgraded our equipment over the past 6 years to fully automatic guns, which produce more, and every ounce of water that comes out of it turns to snow. Versus 20 years ago, like half of the production was wet rain, and the other half was snow.
Those powerful snowmakers may look like a hairdryer and a jet engine had a baby, but don't underestimate them. They can drop more white stuff than a snowstorm, and it's really good snow to ski on.
How much snow can this produce?
It can produce a pile about 4 to 5 feet high, 50 feet long, 8 feet wide. Every gun makes its own blizzard every night.
This looks like a jet engine in here.
It pretty much is. It's a humongous fan that just blows lots of volumes of air through it. These are our water nozzles. You'll see there's 6 weird looking ones. These nozzles have a combination of water and air coming out of them. It creates a mist. The mist freezes faster than water. So this shoots a mist in the air. These bulk water nozzles shoot water into that mist, and that's what creates the snow.
It's not like you can just buy this machine, add air, add water, and create snow whenever you want and wherever you want, right? You still have to have the weather cooperate. Tell me about that.
The weather is our biggest factor. We need the temperature below 30 degrees and the humidity below 50% to be able to make snow.
So next time you're out skiing, try and figure out if the snow came from the sky or a snow gun. You may not be able to tell.
Well, Lester, that's it from Camp Gaw in Mahwah, New Jersey. I'll see you back at the studio. I'm getting a lift back right now.
All right, Dave, thanks so much. Now for our Round the Globe series. Today we are heading to the continent of Africa for a look at a country filled with mystery, amazing structures, rich in kings, and home to some really delicious food. Here's our pal, Raf Sanchez.
Welcome to Egypt. Home to some of the most exciting mysteries from our past and some of the most important questions about our future. It's a place rich with history, beautiful landscapes, and great food. Let's get started. Humans have been living in Egypt for tens of thousands of years, longer than almost anywhere else on Earth. And around 5,000 years ago, they built these, the mighty pyramids of Giza.
How did the ancient Egyptians build their pyramids?
We still don't really know how they made such huge structures without modern equipment. But for much of human history, these were the tallest buildings on Earth. And we do know the pyramids were giant tombs with hidden chambers inside to bury ancient kings and queens. Before burial, the royal bodies were wrapped carefully in cloth. We call those wrapped bodies mummies.
Why did the ancient Egyptians create mummies?
They believed in keeping the body safe so the soul could live on in the afterlife, a new life after a person dies.
This was once the site of an ancient temple. Mummies were brought here for blessing before they were buried, the last stop on their journey to the afterlife.
They stored the mummies in beautiful coffins like this one. And instead of using letters, ancient Egyptians wrote with pictures called hieroglyphics.
Each letter in hieroglyphics has a symbol. We use letters and they use pictures.
Exactly. They used pictures. And this is why the hieroglyphic in a tomb is beautiful. It's like a scene because of the way of how the artist can draw the pictures in a beautiful way.
One of the most famous mummies, King Tut or Tutankhamun.
Is it true that King Tut was the youngest pharaoh?
Yes, it's true. King Tut was just 8 years old when he became a pharaoh or ruler, one of the youngest ever in Egypt.
How many people are in Egypt?
Today, Egypt is home to 100 million people. But because most of the country is desert, almost all Egyptians live along the banks of the River Nile. The Nile is the lifeblood of Egypt, always has been. More than 4,000 miles long, the Nile is one of the longest rivers in the world and is used for trade, transport, and of course, water. But with climate change, it's important to use the Nile's water carefully and make sure there's enough for future generations to grow food. Speaking of food, it's a big deal in Egypt, and you had a lot of questions about it.
What foods do people in Egypt eat on special occasions?
We went to the Zuba restaurant in Cairo to find out.
Kushari is one of our favorite. It's our national dish. It contains rice, lentils, chickpeas, pasta, noodles, and there is tomato sauce, those fried onion. So it's perfect for every age. Like adults love it, kids loves it. So it's really good.
Another favorite among kids?
It's shawarma.
Shawarma is a kind of meat sandwich. It comes in pita bread with hummus and vegetables inside.
I think most of the time it's made like fresh chicken. It's cut perfectly. It has a lot of good sauces. I like the way it's made.
They say that if you drink from the water of the Nile, you'll always come back to Egypt. And with so many ancient secrets still to learn, there's a whole lot of exploring left to do.
Raf, thanks so much. I've been there many times. What an amazing country it is. Time now for our pop quiz, where we put you to the test. This is a fun one. Which one of the following recreational facilities does the White House currently have? A, a bowling alley, B, a batting cage, or C, an arcade? We'll have the answer coming up after the break. Just ahead, Hero Dog will introduce you to Boone, a dog like no other. Then Sing 2. Did you ever wonder how an animated movie gets to the big screen? Plus, this teen from Chicago is on a mission to help his community one blessing at a time. Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. Let's get the answer to our pop quiz. The question, which one of the following recreational facilities does the White House currently have? Bowling alley, batting cage, or arcade? The answer is A, a bowling alley. All right, let's turn now to a story that will really make you smile. It's about a dog who is capturing America's hearts and making many folks feel good along the way. His name is Boone. With more about him, here's our friend Kristen Dahlgren.
In the midst of the holiday travel rush, some relief on two wheels and two paws.
Let's go this way, come on.
A very special dog named Boone.
When Boone goes to the airport, he really gets a lot of attention because of his wheelchair. He gets a lot of questions, and kids like him because it's eye level with them a lot. He brings out a lot of the kids in everybody whenever they see him.
Boone was rescued after being abused. His handler Tanya says they couldn't save his legs, but they did fit him with a wheelchair. His injuries haven't stopped Boone from bringing big smiles to everyone he meets. He loves to be around people.
We knew automatically that he was going to be a therapy dog because he was so calm and he literally had so much patience with everything that I had to deal with him, with his medical care.
First, Boone started helping kids at school. Then, during the pandemic, began raising spirits and lowering stress at the airport.
Boone is part of our PIT PAWS program. PAWS stands for Pups Alleviating Worry and Stress, and that's exactly what they do here at the airport.
It's not just the wheels or those puppy dog eyes. Boone's appeal may also have something to do with the bow ties. Boone has over 400, so he always looks doggone good. Boone even has a trading card and a coloring book called Bowtie Boone. And now he also has a prestigious award as the American Hero Dog.
He's just an amazing little guy who overcame unspeakable cruelty as a puppy, and despite only having 2 legs, has gone on to be an incredible therapy dog for people and animals in need, just spreading his joy and his love. So Boone was a winner of his therapy category, and then he went on to become the overall American Humane Hero Dog of the Year.
Boone was picked by people who voted. He beat out 400 other amazing dogs for the honor, including military dogs, search and rescue dogs, and incredible shelter pets. All kinds of dogs can be heroes. Think you know a hero dog? You can submit an entry at herodogawards.org or through americanhumane.org. Submissions open January 13th. Who knows, maybe your best friend, or mine, could be top dog for 2022 and join some pretty special pups like Boone, who isn't done inspiring.
Boone's mission is truly 100% to show people how he is so resilient and how no matter what happens in life and to you and through you, that you can overcome it. And no matter what your disability is, it's okay. You can still achieve so many things.
Wow, Boone, you are absolutely adorable. Well, speaking of four-legged friends, let's head to Houston now, home to one of the world's most majestic animals, the zebra. Joining us now, Kim Siegel, hoofstock keeper at the Houston Zoo. I got a lot of questions. I understand there are 3 species of zebra. Can you explain?
Yeah, so there are the Grant zebra, the plain zebra, and the mountain zebra. So we have some plain zebras here. They're the ones that are currently doing pretty well in the wild, but some of the other zebra species are more endangered.
I'm going to ask you the big question about the stripes in a second, but I'm always curious, how much in common do they have with horses?
They have quite a bit in common with horses. Horses are their closest relatives. The biggest difference that they have, though, is they are obviously not quite as large as horses are. They also don't have the same vocalization range. So a lot of the zebra communication is done by biting and by kicking than horses typically do.
Now let's get to the big question. Why do zebras have stripes?
They've got stripes for a couple different reasons. So primarily, it's to help them with camouflage. So zebras don't necessarily camouflage against their environment around them. They camouflage against other zebra. So when you've got a herd of several hundred zebra running away from a lion, it's really hard for a lion pack to pick out one individual zebra from all those black and white stripes moving back and forth as they run away. Additionally, their stripes are all completely unique and individualized, so they're kind of like a human fingerprint, so it's how they tell each other apart.
That's very, very interesting. What do they like to eat?
So some of their favorite food here at the zoo is romaine lettuce, carrots, and apples, but the bulk of their diet is made up of hay.
What's the interaction like when kids come visit the zoo and see these guys?
I mean, I think kids definitely love to see the zebras because they are pretty active a big portion of the day. I know that they like to run around, they take dust baths where they'll kind of like roll over in the dust and kind of get all kinds of up and dirty. They all have their own individual temperaments. The 2 girls that we have, they like their space. They don't really want to be within about 5 or 10 feet of us, is about as close as they really want to get to us as their keepers. These 2 like their space.
Well, they are beautiful animals, and Kim Siegel, we thank you for coming on and sharing a little bit about them with us.
Thank you so much, Lester.
All right, take care. Well, we learned a lot there. Let's switch gears and talk movies, one of my favorite subjects. Well, the new movie Sing 2 is out, and our pal Jackson Daly went behind the scenes for a look at how this animated film really comes to life. And there are a couple of things that I think may surprise you.
Playback. This is the entertainment capital of the world.
The gang from Sing are back together with a new show.
We cannot let that bully steal our hopes and dreams.
Thank you so much for letting me interview Mr. McConaughey. I've seen the movie and I love it. It is amazing. You did fantastic.
Thank you.
So what did Buster Moon do this time?
So Buster Moon's got to make sure the show hits the stage, but this time it's in this fictional Vegas, where the stakes are higher, where if I don't pull off the show, it may cost me my life.
I need big shows, big ideas.
We're told no, can't happen. I make promises that I don't know if I can keep, but myself and all the other cast of our crew, we keep believing that we can pull it off, even though we have great doubts, and the world around us is saying you cannot do it. We kept believing we could.
So, did you ever wonder just how animated movies like Sing 2 come to life? We asked the director himself.
I'm the writer and director of both the Sing films. My job starts with writing the story as a script and the dialogue for the characters, but then it quickly becomes about helping the team of over 500 people design everything and make the storyboards and just everything. We're working with the actors, so I'll meet with the actors and they'll record their parts.
Yeah, big time, baby!
Listen, you guys, I have a dream of performing in Red Shore City since I was a little kid.
I bring those recordings home, edit them with the editor Greg, and then Greg and I share that with the animators, and the animators will start to use those voices to animate their characters.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool.
It's sort of like a collaborative process. I was falling in love. Try this line, like say it 3 times, and then change your voice slightly.
The actors say it's a team effort, and yes, they are really singing.
What I'm looking for.
It is me singing, and I think she has a lot of pep to her voice. It's certainly in my voice, but I think a little bit more of a kind of energetic, peppy impatience to her voice.
Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
It's been a hard 2 years for kids because COVID and homeschooling, that's what Nightly News is here for all the confusion for kids. What's the overall takeaway that kids can get from this movie?
Well, look, the last 2 years have been particularly a hard time for kids, and you think like, okay, it's time to quit. I give up. Don't give up on it. This is a time we're going through that we're starting to come out of. Trust yourself. Knowing that everyone went through it also makes it easier to deal with personally. So come out the other side. It's part of survival. Then we can start thriving.
All right, Jackson Daly, that was great. Thanks so much, my friend. We should note Universal Pictures and NBC News are both owned by the same parent company, Comcast. Well, finally, in our Inspiring Kids series, a 14-year-old from Chicago is counting his blessings and giving a few back to a community in need.
My name is Jaquil Jackson. I am 14 years old. Well, I got the idea from Project I Am when I was 5 years old. It was an experience that I had with my aunt, and she took me and my cousins to go see homeless people for the first time.
At 5 years old, Jaquil didn't fully understand the concept of homelessness, but he knew enough to realize there were people who needed help, and he asked his parents if they could get homes for those without them.
And eventually that showed my parents that I really had a passion for this and I wanted to do something. So we sat down, we had a conversation, talked about what we can do, and we thought of blessing bags.
Jaquil and his family launched the nonprofit Project I Am when he was 8. Jaquil came up with what he calls blessing bags as a way to help homeless people.
So blessing bags, it's pretty simple. The items in the bags are blessings, and they're in the bag. So I just and I call them blessing bags. You're going to get one of each item. So except for the Tic Tacs, you're gonna get 3 of these. With Project I Am, I build awareness of homelessness and provide temporary support to those in need with blessing bags that are full of toiletry items that can help them on a daily basis, like soap, tissue, lotion, conditioner, the daily essentials that we usually have that sometimes we can take for granted, sometimes that they don't have. I distribute the bags once or twice a month.
With the help of donations and fundraising, so far more than 17,000 blessing bags have been distributed in the Chicago area, reminding how much need there is.
Middle name Naeem means to give without receiving back, so we always thought it was kind of in me to want to help other people.
This holiday season, Jaquil partnered with another charitable group to deliver toys and cards to the homeless, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. Jaquil hopes to pack his 100,000th blessing bag in the next 2 years.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. We're going to be doing 500 bags today. I think it's important for young people to give back so that they can see the issues in the world and so that we can fix them now. And when we are adults, that we can have a better future for our kids and our kids' kids, just future generations.
Well, that's going to do it for us. Hope you guys had some fun and learned a few things. And parents, just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic we're covering in the news, feel free to email a video to us at nightlynewskids@nbcuni.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram @nightlykids. Also, a programming note, you can catch a new episode of Nightly News Kids Edition every Thursday on NBCNews.com and YouTube. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, take care of yourself and each other. So long.